Ever cracked open a book and secretly hoped, or maybe feared, the story might leap off the page? Well, today's deep dive throws open those haunted library doors and dives headfirst into the 2015 Goosebumps movie. We're talking chills, thrills, and Jack Black with a mischievous twinkle in his eye.
And you'd be right to expect a roller coaster of nostalgia, especially if those spooky paperbacks kept you up at night. But this isn't just a rehash. This movie cleverly weaves a brand new adventure around the core concept: what if R.L. Stine's stories could literally escape their bindings?
Exactly. So picture this. You're Zach, a teen uprooted from the bustling streets of New York City to, dare I say, the quieter corners of Madison, Delaware. Talk about a recipe for teenage angst, right?
A tale as old as time, but here's where it takes a sharp turn. Zach crosses paths with Hannah, his intriguing neighbor, and let's just say things escalate quickly when her overprotective father enters the scene, R.L. Stine himself.
And suddenly, we're not talking awkward first encounters anymore. We're talking monsters busting loose from books like it's a clearance sale at the bookstore from your nightmares.
It's a fantastic premise, really. Stine's books aren't just stories, they're containment units for his own wild imagination. One wrong move, one unlocked manuscript, and bam, you've got the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena wreaking havoc on your lawn.
Oh, you think that's bad? Imagine explaining that to the insurance company.
Yeah.
But here's where things get really meta. The film is helmed by director Rob Letterman, the mastermind behind Shark Tale and Monsters vs. Aliens.
Letterman clearly has a knack for breathing life into the fantastical. There's a real art to seamlessly blending CGI creatures with live action, and he pulls it off with a visual flair that's both impressive and often hilarious. Don't even get me started on that giant praying mantis scene.
I was going to say, you can't bring up Goosebumps without talking about that monster mash. Letterman manages to cram in a whole rogues gallery from the books, and it's a visual treat. I mean, who knew lawn gnomes could be so sinister?
Speaking of bringing characters to life, can we just take a moment to appreciate Jack Black as R.L. Stine? He's practically bouncing off the walls with that trademarked chaotic energy, yet there's this grumpy, reclusive undercurrent that fits the character surprisingly well.
It's the perfect blend of Black's signature over-the-top persona and the eccentricities you'd expect from a horror writer who keeps his most terrifying creations locked away.
And he does it all with that twinkle in his eye, that self-aware humor that tells you he's in on the joke.
Right.
Black's performance alone is almost worth the price of admission.
Certainly.
Ah.
But let's not forget the rest of our intrepid monster hunters.
Right.
We've got Dylan Minnette as Zach, perfectly capturing that teenage blend of awkwardness. And why is this happening to me?
Minette really nails that every teenager vibe, making his reactions to the increasingly bizarre situations feel completely believable.
Yeah.
One minute he's navigating a new school, the next he's dodging a werewolf in the grocery aisle.
Oh, absolutely.
Talk about a Tuesday.
Seriously. And then there's Hannah.
Right.
Played with this captivating aura of mystery by Odeya Rush.
Yeah.
She's like a walking question mark. Is she a damsel in distress, a secret mastermind, or something in between?
It's a shame, really, that we only get glimpses of her backstory, especially that bombshell reveal about her connection to Stine. Right.
Talk about a missed opportunity to explore some deeper themes.
What does it mean to be real in a world where stories literally come to life?
Right. There's a whole layer of complexity there, especially considering the power of imagination and creation that the film constantly throws at us.
Yeah, it reminds me of that classic line, "We are the stories we tell ourselves." In this case, those stories have fangs and a taste for mayhem.
And speaking of mayhem, can we talk about that climax?
Oh, yeah.
Zach battling a typewriter to rewrite reality while riding a runaway Ferris wheel. That's peak Goosebumps right there.
It's a fantastic visualization of how the film treats storytelling as this powerful force capable of both creation and destruction. Zach literally has to write his way out of the chaos, reminding us that even in the face of our wildest fears, sometimes all we need is the right words to set things right.
And let's not forget that final twist with Slappy the Dummy. Talk about leaving you on the edge of your seat, wondering what kind of havoc he'll unleash next. It's classic Goosebumps, that lingering sense of what if that stays with you long after the credits roll.
Exactly. The movie does a fantastic job of capturing that signature Goosebumps blend of humor and horror, appealing to both longtime fans like ourselves and newcomers brave enough to open the first book.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So after this wild, nostalgia-fueled ride, where do we land on a scale of 1 to 5? I'm thinking a solid 4 out of 5 stars. It's a visual treat, the pacing is snappy, and the humor lands perfectly.
Couldn't agree more. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel, but it delivers a fun, engaging experience that reminds us why we fell in love with Goosebumps in the first place.
It's a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create in our own imaginations. And that a good story, no matter how spooky, always has the power to entertain.
Well said. Now we want to hear from you. What were your impressions of the Goosebumps movie? Did it live up to the hype? Let us know in the comments below.
And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the worlds of film, TV, and pop culture.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep those pages turning.